who's as usual being that opening fragger for the side of his team. And Vertigo, it's a map where Extra Assault, they like to call it their home, Vince. But they have shown that they aren't as indomitable as they were on this map a while ago. I believe it was Payne who showed all the little holes they had on their side. So definitely something which GODSENT would have kept an eye on and would have been looking to try and abuse as well. On this A side, it's only Phelps. He does have a smoke and a nade. He's got backup as well in the form of Demau right there. My bad. I think he was playing towards mid, but fell back. And Phelps making contact. Now, the question I had in my mind were, are they going to be keeping this utility to try and go for the retake? They've used up a smoke early on, but they still have that extra smoke and flash in hands of Demau. And 2 nades on Taco and Phelps alongside a kit as well. So if they do opt to go for the plant, they could use the nades, but it could be a little bit more preemptive.
They're still not fully committing either as it stands. Now we're starting to see a bit of commitment put forward. Sonic, JT, the 2 South Africans getting up close. Smoke in the eyes of the oncoming CTs, but it's a bit of a ruse. Now they're standing in the pack towards the B side, and they're getting some success, but they're also losing plays at the same time. OC brings it back into a 1-for-1, where Sonic's now going to try and wrap around the back of the CTs, gets an unsuspecting Barton who was already tagged down by OC, and the bomb has been planted, but Taco sticking the defuse, gets the defuse underneath Extra Salt's nose, insult to injury, and GODSENT take first blood on Vertigo.
Spin, baby, spin, Taco. He knows he had it, and that kid, Vince, that kid came in handy. That was a great call from Extra Assault. It really looked like they were going to be able to sell it, but kudos to GODSENT. They didn't budge. The 2 players were holding towards the B side. They just held on to it, and the fact that they're able to deal a little bit of damage really worked out. And I love how GODSENT knew. They're like, all right, the other 2 Ts, it's not planned for them. And Taco, well, he delivers. He's had some hero rounds so far, has the captain of GODSENT, and that is a massive round to win for the Brazilians. Bit of a pause coming in, a little bit of maybe an FPS bug perhaps, but we haven't really had any long technical issues so far, so things should be sorted out real quickly. I'm not personally a very big fan of Vertigo, Vince. I think I've said it time and time again. Like, my feelings of Vertigo is akin to yours with Dust 2. However, I do enjoy watching Extra Assault on this map. I think they have a lot of cool ideas, and especially for OC, when he gets his hand on an AWP, be the T side or the CT side, he can be a beast. And the one problem for the side of GODSENT, and this is something Vu pointed out as well yesterday, is the lack of kind of like a dedicated AWP player. Now, almost everyone takes turns wielding the AWP at times. You saw on Nuke, we saw, on Nuke, we saw Taco, we saw Demau as well wielding it. Dumau's the guy who usually goes for it, but also we have the other members potentially bringing it out. And I feel like the lack of a pure dedicated AWPer of the caliber of someone like OC can be a bit detrimental at times. But they were able to still make it work though, right? Like if you look at Ancient, OC wasn't able to do anything with the AWP. So it's not like it's a prerequisite to get a win over Extra Assault. But bear in mind, as this map progresses, OC is going to be someone that GODSENT have to contend with, someone they need to neutralize. Because if he starts popping off, he had very quiet game on Ancient. He was looking much better on Nuke. And if he continues on his trajectory, he can have one of those games where he just drops like a 30 bomb with like a 3 KD and just looks untouchable. And that is a potential nightmare for the side of GODSENT.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is the kind of map that we know that OC in particular is grizzled on. He's experienced with, and you know, you were discussing before about how Extra Sort of won multiple of these DreamHack North America Opens. They're the defending champions, and Vertigo was always a centerpiece of their victories, of their road to success. So we know that OC can bust out the huge performances, and I think it definitely can be a detriment for GODSENT not having an out-and-out primary AWP. But I think it's very map-specific. Some maps you can get away with it a lot more than others. Dust 2 is our decider map, and if it goes down to the wire, that may end up being a fairly big pivot piece and a big part of the story when we get there. What we know for now, though, is that the game has resumed. So any tech issues have been resolved, hopefully, and we're ready to jump back on the saddle. Big opening spray through the smoke, but not really connecting any shots from Phelps. Plenty of rifles and firepower on both teams. Only OC drops down to a deagle. Rest of his team have Galils, and they're forcing away the CTs. That's a 2-for-0 trade. That is massive for Extra Salt.
That's such a big mistake from GODSENT. They waited too long. Great flashbang, but Barton not quite able to connect the shots he needed. Trade does take place, but Sonic, though, on the lurk, he's going to get Dumao, and this has fallen apart, Vince. This has fallen apart terribly for GODSENT. A hot-pot pistol round, but now Taco in a 1 versus 3. He's picked up the AK. Looked like for a moment he's going to probably make a run for it, but he's falling back. Doesn't have a kit either, so maybe going for some exits. And that was GODSENT sticking around a little too long in front of that smoke, right? They were slowly peeling away as the smokes dissipated, but I like how Extra Salt, they were waiting behind the smoke, and they had that one flashbang. That one flash is all they needed, getting 2 free kills. Great entries coming in from Fang, and yeah. They lost the pistol round in a very narrow fashion, but they win the force by much more convincingly. Taco tried to be a little cheeky there, but 3 players will survive for Extra Salt, and they will, of course, retain their rifles as well. Taco, at least the saving grace being he's got that AK-47 picked up from the corpse of Sonic. This is it, right? Like, you're falling away, and you think the smoke is still in play. It's still gonna keep Extra Salt at bay, but this happened in Ancient as well on that B bomb site, where they kept waiting outside of smoke. They're like, yeah, there's no way Extra Salt going to be pushing on in. But I feel that's a little... that's a mistake. Like, I think that's an assumption they should stop making, and they should be playing a little bit more of a conservative position. Force by going to be coming in, and they're going to try and work around it. AK-47 in hands of Taco, who has gone for a very forward position towards the B stairs.
Yeah, 4 players stacky, and a boost on top of it. I think if you do go for that early ramp aggression, you need players on the short side as well. So they're looking to rectify that problem. Hence them both getting caught and no ability to counteract those frags. Now, JT is the expendable player on the team of Extra Salt. He has the MAC-10. His mission, should he choose to accept it, is to get out there, likely die, but take a couple players down with him in the process. Molotov to sandbags, gives Phelps position away. However, this is where Lato could be activated. On the cross, bang, up close, misses his shots, takes a lot of damage and gets fragged out in the blink of an eye. So many bodies hit the floor, but it will spell doom for GODSENT as it's heavily against them, and it's that man Taco again, who would have every right to try and hold on to this AK. Because if they lose this, they're going to have very little for the next round.
For a moment, I thought they're going to be falling back towards B, and I'm like, well, that is them giving a lot of respect to Taco and that AK-47, but no, they're just going to be grouping up. Nothing too complicated, Vince. Just going to try and use the numbers advantage that they have. They have a lot of utility as well. The smokes will be deployed, and Taco's not going to even bother thinking of going for this retake. Bomb will be planted. They're going to do the due diligence, clearing out all the usual angles. It's going to be round number 2 for Extra Salt. Yeah, that looked a little scary. The trades could have easily gone the way of GODSENT as well, but good work overall coming in from Extra Salt. Sure, they lose a couple of players, but they're going to be happy with the fact that they're able to stave off that that force buy from GODSENT. It was not an eco. But Taco still has his AK, and it's just unfortunate that the one side he heads towards, that's not where they wind up going. It is going to be the A side, where Extra Salt have are keeping their attentions focused on. This one's, I gotta say, I feel like Vertigo is going to be a closer affair. Like, if you look at Nuke and Ancient, it was very one-sided. Both teams, but I feel like GODSENT really do know what to do on this map. It's just that right now, it's still very early days, they don't have the weapons, but once the guns do come into play, it could be a whole different ballgame altogether.
Man, Vertigo has typically been pretty much fairly close to fair. One of them results was 16-12. That was back in June. Second time they played it, a little bit less so, 16-7 in favor of Extra Salt on both of those occasions. But again, you learn so much from a defeat that you'd expect that GODSENT will have a good idea as to what's coming up here. My concern, though, is that so far Extra Salt have looked very calm, very collected. Yeah, there's been a couple of dodgy moments, but they haven't made any desperate moves. Just slowing the pace down again here. They know they're up against a really poor buy. Yes, Taco could save, but no real money behind it. Just P2, in fact, not even P250, P2000 and USPs. They've pretty much fully saved behind Taco. So unless GODSENT can return the favor, as what we saw on Nuke, this should be a fairly straightforward 3-1 should be a bit of a formality. How much damage can they inflict on the way out? So far, not much. Marquis doubles up with his spray, one of which is through the wooden panels. And this looks to be falling in place somewhat as we expected. Extra Salt looking pretty solid in the early rounds here on Vertigo.
Whichever side Taco goes, there's no one there. It's so unlucky and unfortunate. He does get a kill. Okay, finally that AK-47 finding a frag. So where is someone else? But he's pinned down in the corner, 41 HP. JT just toying with him with that Galil of his. Where does he go from here, Vince? There's not many escape routes available. He's gonna try and sneak his way around. JT will be cognizant of that fact, and he might check his back. But Taco maybe looking to hold on to Seki for the next round. It is looking unlikely, though. They know where he is and can see the remaining members slowly making the way towards his A side. Taco, this is about, maybe padding his stats. I don't really fancy his chances of saving his AK. He's completely unaware from where JT is going to be coming in from, and that's going to be a nice upgrade from the Galil to the AK-47. Clean rounds from Extra Salt on these anti-eco and anti-force buys, but now the buy is going to be coming in from GODSENT. We did see a player drop out. Hopefully that shouldn't be for too long, but that is what I'm looking forward to. Or to see the buy. Marquis is someone I want to keep an eye out for on this T side, Vince. Some of his lurks are not just round changing, but map changing, game changing. He's been so impactful. Yesterday in the map they had against Pain, he was instrumental in a number of very close rounds they were able to win. But that's the thing. Pain have had Extra Salt's number the last two times they've played them on this very map, and it wasn't even that close. It was a pretty convincing win for the other Brazilian team. So that is something which GODSENT, I am sure, would have studied and would have made some notes on, as we do have everyone else back into the server. Unfortunately, no AWPs yet. But then again, OC is still going to be opting to wield the AK-47. So for the first proper test for Extra Salt on the map of Vertigo here against the rifles in the hands of GODSENT.
Yeah, I think both teams don't really need an AWP, to be honest. If they want to play more mobile run and gun, and we're seeing from Extra Salt early, just rushing straight towards the ramp. Good counter utility has been tossed in, and it seems like GODSENT are a step ahead. Two players on short side, and it's Phelps that digs in first. Marquis, the man that you were just touching on, the first to fall. Spray is good from Lato, and this is more like it from GODSENT, turning the tides, fending and fobbing away Extra Salt in their tracks. Great start, but they need to get this one clean, because even if they do win this round, if they're losing 3 or 4 players, their economy will hemorrhage. They will know this. Plus, additionally, they've got some FAMASs they'd like to upgrade, and with a lot of AKs littered around the battlefield, this is a big round for GODSENT. Need to make sure that they nail the landing on it.
A boost this late? They're not going to be expecting that, Vince. And Phelps with a free kill on Defang, but aren't they ready for OC? See, hasn't spotted the player. It's going to be headshot angle, and he's going to snap onto his head, but Phelps is going to say no. Barely gets scratched. A nice 3K for Phelps, and Sonic, well, he's got the C4. He's got about 40 seconds, but he's got a lot of players to find, and it's looking kind of unlikely he's going to be able to pull off anything too crazy here. They do, of course, have tons of money in the bank, Vince, so they're going to be able to buy up back-to-back at least 2 more rounds. For Sonic, it's about trying to perhaps inflict a little bit of damage, but he doesn't want to die after the time. Just want to go in right now with 20 seconds. Time is not his friend. And GODSENT are playing a very, very safe game here. Oh! Okay, that's the way to win a duel. 29 seconds. I think he wants to die. He's just going to try and take the fight. Is he? Or is he going to save? Does he want to die? Or does he want to save? He's in 2 minds, Vince. But finally, he will fall to bot in 3 seconds before the time expires. But it's okay. They have oodles of money to work with. And this is going to be the first full-fledged buy where, they don't have any saved weapons like Galils from the previous rounds, or maybe a FAMAS picked up for the CTs. It's going to be AKs coming out full-fledged for the side of Extra Salt. And as you pointed out, Vince, it looks like they are opting not to put the AWP in the hands of OC. They wanted mobility. They know how effective it can be on the AK-47 as well. And that is indeed what they're going to be going with.
Yeah, I think this maybe harkens back to what V was talking about on Ancient, where they'll have multiple plans, right? If this plan A of Extra Salt is to play really mobile and have this hit squad just move around, be very mobile and versatile around the map and adaptive very quickly. If that stops working, well, not a bad plan B to put an AWP in OC's hands and say, go kill. That's always an opportunity to get on the scoreboard. So I'm liking this. They can kind of almost condition GODSENT to these faster paced rounds, and then when they do bust an AWP in later on, could catch them off guard. That could be the window of opportunity that someone like OC needs. Now, this is going to be very much a B-centered hit. Haven't seen this kind of level of aggression over on B just yet. It's mainly been on the A side. Already boosting up Fang. Is just set behind the wooden panels. Now, damage has been inflicted to Extra Assault, but here come the wall of mollies. Extinguished out on the backside of the site already. Fang gets up close. Flash is good. Yields the first frag, but in the blink of an eye, 3 kills come down, and Taco takes 3 of them for himself. Hiding in the smoke, sprays them into oblivion, and GODSENT pick up yet another one.
They knew he was there. He smoked off the Molotov. They knew exactly where he was. How does he get this first 2 kills? He was in the smoke vents. He walks out. He lines them up. And then the third one, a little bit more unreasonable through the smoke. What a play from Taco. The B anchor. His teammate didn't even have to do anything. He single-handedly shuts it down. An Extra Assault. They did telegraph a little bit as to where they're going to be making their way towards. And yeah, they just walk in. Mr. Taco's M4 gets completely obliterated, and no bomb down means no extra money as well, so it's going to be just pistols coming out. I thought they'll be able to buy up comfortably. They could have gone for the force wipe they wanted to. Instead, they're going to exercise a little bit of restraint, which I like. Lato using the smoke as a one-way. He's going to go for the prolonged spray, able to find 2, gets taken down, but Phelps is there to mop up the remaining members as he finds 3 for himself. It was a light buy for the side of Extra Assault, for the fact that GODSENT are able to swat them away so convincingly. Just losing 1 player is going to do wonders for their economy.
Yeah, and speaking of the wonders of the economy, Extra Assault certainly not feeling too great about theirs right now. Again, OC can't afford to get an AWP in his hands. Their money was just too low. They're around the sort of low to mid $4,000 mark. So that pushes back a potential AWP. Maybe Extra Assault just aren't interested for the whole half. It'll be interesting to see what comes up next. But GODSENT, in the meanwhile, now starting to assert themselves, now starting to get themselves a bit more stabilized. The opening few rounds looking fairly bleak. They've turned the tide. The A hold in particular has got a lot more potent, a lot more stable. They've just made a couple of small, fine tweaks, and they've been getting the results as a direct knock-on effect from that. I was just kind of holding my breath for a second because I thought for a moment Barton was going to get aggressive through middle, but he decides better off. He's playing this passive angle outside of CT, waiting for the oncoming T's to push into his crosshair. He's had another slow start. He had a slow start in the last map as well after a phenomenal ancient, but the timing is so grim. Barton goes back up for seconds, going to be called upon, flicks across for the first headshot and can reposition, but he gets put down by OC, and that opens up business to B side.
Yeah, the B-side's wide open here. Now, the bomb has to be retrieved, and it is still a 3v3 because Phelps has managed to find Fang in the meantime. And JT immediately legging his way towards the B-side. He's very low on health. Now, they have the Molotov, the CTs do. They could try and use it to delay the bomb plant. But the amount of time that Extra Assault have to work with, they can delay the plan if needs be. But no, they're going to get it down, and Sonic's going to find Phelps. That's a huge kill to find, because now man advantage is going to lie with the side of the North American side.
I'm not sure they go for this, Blair. I think they're already pulling the plug here, which suggests to me that we might see an AWP in the next round. I say that because keeping these 2 weapons, yes, you've got an AK, which obviously really, really valuable. But additionally, when you look at the rest of the money here, keeping these 2 rifles supports a way healthier buy next round, especially if you want to go for an AWP. I think this is going to be a really intriguing proposition for me. How much do GODSENT prioritize their AWPer? Are they happy just sticking with the rifles? Let's see what they go for.
It is curious, right? Like, there are a lot of angles, a lot of positions the AWP can play from on the CD side here on Vertigo. It's a map which affords a lot of mobility. And Jamal's going to bring it up. Like, you're going to be playing towards mid. The angle Barton was holding, and AWP there can guarantee you a kill, and it can easily be very untradeable. If you're playing way at the back, you can go for an early peek towards B. You can be just a turret on that A side. Multiple angles can play towards A side as well, from ramp, from a short position. You can be playing from a side as well. So a lot of options available. Oh, we saw this yesterday. They're going to be going for it again, and it's going to be Sonic who spots a player out, but doesn't quite land the shot. That is a very, very cheeky play. They did this yesterday against Pain Vince, and it worked out for them. But unfortunately, this time around, they were maybe expecting some aggression from GODSENT on the B side, but nice attempt nonetheless. And I just want to point out as well, like the small little nuances in how Extra Salt approach their T side, right? The previous round, just draw your mind back to the previous round. We saw Barton holding mid, and he peels away the moment they walk out mid, but it was because of the Molotov being used on the B bomb side that forced him out of that angle. It's all about timing. It's all about how they're able to kind of push and pull the rotations out from the side of GODSENT, which is such a beautiful thing for me to watch. But still very early days here in this game. And Lato is playing a very, very dangerous game. Now that Felt's been taken down, he's going to fall back to a much more favorable position. And indeed, he will. Finds JT and is going to get the hell out of dodge.
I love that he stuck around for a little bit just to put one frag down, because I think he realized if he just gives up the site, it opens the floodgates for Tease to get up close. So that frag is so massive. And now Demao alongside Lato can just put the hammer down and nail the rest of Extra Salt where they stand. Now OC fakes the bomb. He backs himself to win this, but he runs out of ammunition. Hasn't been fully punished. This is still a very winnable round. Considering that Lato is stuck behind that smoke, OC's not just going to get some kills, not just get the bomb plant, but can reposition up close. If this goes unchecked, he could clutch this. Another frag! OC is so close to taking this and making it his. Oh my goodness, he's not going to get it done, but think of how much damage he just inflicted to GODSENT in a round that should have never, ever got even remotely that close.
1 versus 4, Vince. Like you said, he had no business bringing it down to a 1v1. Oh my lord. That's got to sting. Look at the money. Look at the money for GODSENT. Sure, Demao can drop a weapon. Actually, you know what? Demao can drop a couple of guns, but even then, he has completely wrecked the economy. If they lose this round, the current round here, their money's going to be completely broken. And that's going to be Extra Salt having the opportunity to string a few more together. So there we go. Demao is going to purchase armor for himself. Now he can drop 2 rifles if needs be, and he could be wielding the AWP. But no, the off's going to be in the hands of Lato, which is something I haven't seen yet. So I am curious what he has in store for us here. Taco, meanwhile, the B anchor. The nade is gonna deal just a little bit of chip damage on the JT. But looking at the way the members of Extra Salt are arrayed right below the stairs here, it's kind of obvious where the hit's gonna be coming in.
Oh yeah, this is B all day, every day. Now Taco got a huge triple from behind a smoke earlier. He pulls away the attention for a brief moment, and Barton snatches the life out of 3. Taco, even from the grave, is still the puppet master, pulling the strings and making his opponents dance. Great round from GODSENT, and that was looking bleak, Blair. When Taco goes down, you fear that you just think this fight is done, but this is the position, this off angle, where they were so focused on dealing with that smoke that Taco threw down, the Barton was just unlocked.
The master puppet, some might say, Vince.
Oh,
Taco. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's absolutely true though. You know, they knew how they lost that round, so they were so hyper-focused in that position that Barton, Demao, just completely just dismantling that whole
bro.
Oh, I remember when Brazil won the last World Cup. God, I feel old.
Yep, right along with you, dude. I still remember when R9 Ronaldo played with his crazy haircut. What a striker he was, though.
Oh, the OG Ronaldo. I remember the one when Zidane completely wrecked the Brazilian dream in 1998. I was supporting Brazil for that World Cup, and he just Zidane, man. What a god, what a legend. This round should be kind of comfortable here for GODSENT, unless they opt to be a little too over aggressive. There was absolutely no need for that. There's no need for that. They should have known that the buy would have been very, very rough for the side of Extra Salt. And now with Sonic, he's got the Kevlar, Vince, and now he's got an AK.
Yeah, it's questionable, isn't it? I don't really fully understand what the ideal thought process was. I'm sure GODSENT had their reasons, but it has backfired. Flash over, you can see what they were going for, trying to pop that flash into a triple spray, but instead, Marquis carves a path through the skull of Demao, and this post plant will be denied by Lato. The AWP says no. They're gonna have to pick that bomb up again. Now the smoke is clearing. They can go back in for more, and they connect one more time. What started so poorly for GODSENT seems to be turning the corner now. And Extra Salt may feel compelled to go in for some peeks. They know they're at a player disadvantage, and Molotov, well placed, just deals with Sonic. He has no way of knowing there's no molly, but he's just going to carve a path through the heads of Taco and Bartin. And now Lato, his position compromised, in an awkward angle, still puts the bullet through the girder, picks up the frag, but will be nullified by Fang's Tech 9. This round, a yo-yo, a roller coaster back and forth, but Extra Salt on an eco, they make it work.
GODSENT let that slip. They let that slip massively. Oh my god, that's... Credit to Sonic, though. I mean, beautiful shots coming out from him, and the fact that... But the fact that he even got that AK-47, Vince, what was Phelps doing? Why are you taking the fight alone, just going for a blind crouch battle against 5 pistols? You should have known the buy would have been rough, and they've basically just punched themselves in the nuts. The money is... it's broken. And Extra Salt didn't even have to get a buy for that. Sure, they lose 4 players, but doesn't matter. Oh, that's got a sting for GODSENT. Taco's aunt, who doesn't like the name Epitachio, apparently gave him his name. Okay. How do you pronounce it? My Portuguese is atrocious.
Oh, mate, I am the stereotypical Brit that cannot pronounce any other language, so I am not the guy to ask. I'm going to offend a lot of people. I didn't know that, though. He got his name from his aunt. Fair enough.
Elliot knows things about Counter-Strike, which worries me. I feel like he has an unhealthy obsession with the game. We all love the game. We're all obsessed with the game. But Elliot, man, you might need help at times. I do worry for you. Jokes aside, though, it's going to be the force buy for GODSENT, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, you did it to us with pistols, we're going to try the same. That's a nice attempt at the nade, but JT just backpedaling real quickly, able to avoid the brunt of the damage. And OC's got his AWP. He didn't have to buy it, Vince. He did not have to buy it. It was gifted over. And of course, he's going to take it to Mao with a... I'm not very sure with what GODSENT are doing here, in all honesty, Vince. These fights look very haphazard. Even though we know it's a pistols and, you know, kind of a half buy, it was still a full investment, right? You had a couple of rifles, you had an SMG, you had a 5.7 as well, and had the tackle at the end. But you could see the way they're taking this fight. It was isolated. They were relying on them just hitting the shots instead of trying to maybe have, you know, a crossfire being set up or peeking together. Instead, they were kind of isolated in each of those duels. And especially against the AK-47s, you're usually not going to win them. So the past couple of rounds have been very, very rough for the Brazilian side. And they're being punished for it.
Yeah, certainly a bit lackluster. It feels like the utility hasn't really supplied or facilitated them the chance to take ramp control. We haven't seen any great pop flashes, which obviously is a mantle of this defense, especially when you take it like aggressively. A lot of teams set up for retakes over on A. So it's a bit also surprising that we haven't seen GODSENT really play into that too many times here. And this is maybe where that plan B or plan C needs to start coming to the forefront. If you cannot contend with ramp early on, well, what do you do about that? Do you just keep running into the gauntlet? Do you just keep conceding rounds and conceding players? Or do you adapt? Do you make the read? Do you make the adjustment? And I don't think we've really seen that from GODSENT so far. And it's not a coincidence that Extra Salt are picking up their second win here and starting to escalate themselves towards potentially even a 9-6 half.
I mean, they did pick the map, right? And they did show... And even the rounds they lost, Vince, like it came down to the wire, like many of them came down to like hero plays, right? A tackle with a 3K, for example, and we saw Bartin as well. But I feel like Extra Salt's protocols on this map are just so very good. Like they work so well as a unit. It's almost like watching a... It's almost like watching like a hive mind in play, especially in the T side. You be careful though. USPs scare me. Oh, they scare me so much. But OC Fang are gonna make sure that I will fear it no more. They will quickly dispatch of the USPs. Just the one casualty. 7-6. Extra Salt take the lead. If they can make it 9-6, oh, that's a healthy lead heading to the CD side.
Yeah, I mean, there's always two ways of looking at it, right? On the one hand, GODSENT have made a couple of missteps, but take nothing away from Extra Salt. And now OC, with his AWP, is going to be looking to train in with some frags. And maybe this is where that kind of position that we were talking about before, where you've consistently played these fairly rapid rounds. You've been getting in the face of the CTs. You've conditioned them to fear these rushes. Maybe this is where OC can really start to come alive. Phelps, though, getting the upper hand on JT, who pushes through the smoke. There's no counter frag. His death is for nothing. It's in vain. And not only that, but I think Phelps may be able to survive. Just a hit and run from GODSENT.
A great escape from Phelps. It's well done. An early opening pick, which has eluded them actually quite a bit so far in this first half. Taco, though, the anchor, he's got Barton as well next to him, and they can afford that, considering they have the man advantage, considering the forward positioning of Phelps as well. Is still sticking around, just jiggle peeking around the corner. He knows that the gird is going to be good enough cover that he doesn't get wall banged or tagged quite drastically. He's got Lado as well to spot the player out. He spots him out. But OC, though, Phelps, I'm not too sure why he went for the wide swing there. And OC's going to find him. That's going to neutralize man advantages just for a second, though, because Dumau does reply back and is doing a great job keeping OC at bay. But amongst all the commotion, the bomb will be planted. Marky and OC kind of low, but Sonic, he's delivered in the pass. And he might be able to do so again. Never mind. Taken down by Barton. That's a great retake. And it's all in OC again. And this is a brave angle, Vince. This is such a brave angle with the AWP. He might find a collateral. No, he won't. He will just find the one kill and Taco with the immediate trade. Great spacing there from GODSENT. And it's going to be the scores being tied up. A little bit of a messy hit from the side of Extra Salt, but a good hold nonetheless from GODSENT.
I think that really encapsulates, even though OC was unsuccessful, let's be honest, in that position with an AWP against 3, the chances are so low. I love that he still tried to play that round on his terms. He knows if he goes to ramp where the bomb is planted, it's so easy to just spam him if they have a flash, and they actually had 2 smokes at the end of that, can smoke him off, and everything goes out the window. So taking that forward position allows him to play it on his terms. As you say, they line up and he gets a collateral, he can win the round. If they miss a shot on him, he could even get 2 after hiding behind the angle. So I love it, even though it didn't work out for him. However, last round of the half, by far the closest map so far. As you said before, both the previous games were pretty one-sided. Trade out, though. Marky just about survives and will dodge that grenade. Ooh. On 3 HP, he manages to crawl himself out.
Sonic walking in. Timing is everything. Taco spots him out. Needs to stay alive here, Vince. He's got backup arriving, and there we go. Barton bailing his captain out. But the hit is going to be coming in towards A. And Phelps, how does he even see Fang? He just completely dismantles him. And now the 3v4, barely a 3v4, because Marky is internally hemorrhaging. And this is looking very good for GODSENT. A great opportunity to close out a half with a 1-round lead, and Marky is going to fall quickly, put out of his misery, and a 2 versus 4 for JT and OC.
I do have a bit of utility between the two of them, but it comes down to timing, and Phelps again has been playing around these smokes so exquisitely this round. And it would be fitting if he ended this half with another frag. OC bypasses the first player. Damage done, but he does connect enough to take Barton out of the equation. 38 hit points remain. With a molly and smoke being put down, again, he feels compelled to go in for the plant. Excellent frag. He's come close so many times with these clutches. Is this the one that's finally going to... Yes! Removed from Taco! OC on fire! We're going to cut to a break just to calm ourselves down. Rejoin us in a few moments. Well, ladies and gents, we hope you've managed to catch your breath after a majestic 1v4 clutch from OC, which he was constantly threatening multiple times, and he finally stuck the landing. 8-7, by far the closest half we've had so far in this best of 5 blur.
Oh, absolutely. And, I mean, it's kind of expected, right? It's a map both these teams are very, very comfortable on. And it's almost like the first 2 maps never happened. You can pretty much forget that Nuke and Ancient took place because it's 1-1. You can forget about it. It's almost like the beginning of a fresh best of 3 over here. As GODSENT slowly creeping up ramp. All 5 players clumped up together. And JT is going to make contact. That's Phelps bidding us goodbye. And JT is sticking around for maybe a little bit longer than he really needed to. And because of that, Boston's going to strike. But OC like a turret from above, but he's got no escape. And it's all devolving into chaos. Sonic has been spotted out as well, but they don't know they're both of them there. Sonic's going to face. They're going to face together now, and the jig is up. And Lato finding Maki, leaving it all on Supersonic in a 1 versus 3. Can he emulate OC and pull off another miraculous clutch?
Oh, that's a good way to kick things off. First frag goes his way. The flash barely affects him. He's going to be going in. Oh, he's so nearly isolated each and every one of the players. You could see how it was falling into place, but good for GODSENT that they were able to hold their nerve, hold their resolve, and they pick up the second pistol. And we are tied all up again, but it just seems right now the Extra Assault, they're never fully out of the fight. Even 1v3s, 1v4s, you always feel like they can maybe, just maybe, somehow pull it off.
And you love to see it, right? Just the individual prowess on each and every one of the individuals we have in the server. Dumao's had a bit of a quiet game so far, though, but as I said, Vince, you can never count anyone out. A bit of a flick from JT, unfortunately, doesn't quite land anywhere. But the nade does. It's going to deal quite a bit of damage onto Phelps. 61 HP. And GODSENT are giving a bit of respect here to Extra Assault. They're not going to be going for any fast plays. Just running on in. They know they have a superior weaponry. Taco is going to be the fact finder for his team. Arky, though, unfortunate, getting caught there, waiting on top of the ladder. And Dumao, yeah, I might have spotted him out. Not too sure, but he's doing a good job just holding the potential flank from the side of Extra Assault.
Pace grinding to a standstill, but they still have 50 seconds to pick it back up again. GODSENT maybe anticipating that Extra Assault will go in for a stack and will try and just make sure all these angles are covered off. Shows the respect as well. Their adversaries could always punish one missed step. Fang with one of the 2 scouts having a quick look across, and now the smokes are all blotting out the sun from his perspective, and Molly's behind. It stands to reason that this is going to be an A hit. And they could even pull the plug and save and go again in the next round. JT going to try some speculative wallbang shots onto the plant, and actually does stick one through onto Taco. Doesn't outright frag him, though, and they don't want to overextend and overstay their welcome. This makes perfect sense. Just rinse and repeat into the next round. You've done some damage, but you were unsuccessful with any frags. Maybe if JT connects a shot through the boxes and actually gets the frag and drops the bomb down, it could be a whole different ball game. But woulda, shoulda, coulda, didn't happen.
Especially when you don't have a kit, right? Like, once a bomb gets planted, it's no longer just 4 versus 5, which is already disadvantageous for you, but also now you have to contend with with father timing against you as well. So the right call to go for the save here. And for the side of GODSENT, all 5 players are still alive as well. But that means that the danger of potentially getting E-code, well, not E-code, but more like getting decode, scout code? Is that a thing, Vince? Yeah, let's not make that a thing. That sounds terrible. Yeah, but the danger is still very much there. It's still very present, and they will have to contend with it. Now, what does Extra Assault do with this? I like to see them go for a little bit more for some unorthodox plays, especially when you have, obviously, you know, just the pistols and the scouts to work with. A bit of a cheeky Busumaki. It's going to be boosted on top of the mid boxes, so at least they have eyes over there. He's got OC as well right next to him to trade if needs be, and this I like. Forward positioning, Fang with a scout. If they do try and walk towards B, he's going to make contact and going to be a distraction, hoping that Sonic's able to find a stab from behind. But Taco is having none of it. He's going to be using the smoke, but it is kind of a bit of a one-way for Sonic.
Yeah, I think Taco realizes it too. And it doesn't help matters that JT on short is now just put down Phelps. One of those heavy hitters, one of those X factors. And this is the power of knowing when you're beaten in the previous round and holding on to enough firepower. There'll be enough banana peels, slips and slides to potentially win. Sonic now round the back with a freebie frag onto Dumao. Smoking off the re-engage so we can pick up the assault rifle. This is a huge start for Extra Assault, and it's going to force GODSENT into an aggressive hit. A bit of desperation, maybe. Taco on the cross, but Lato takes the kill from underneath him. Taco can go in for this plant now. And with Lato having a clear line of sight towards the back boxes, it should be a formality. Sonic, though, takes out Taco, who gets a bit too aggressive. But with both the remaining Extra Assault players exceptionally low, this should be a case of cleaning up the rest. Lato's on for the ace, additionally. If Sonic re-picks, he should be going down, and Lato will be acing it up. But a round that got too close, and Extra Assault now can buy again.
That got very close, Vince. And yeah, Lato coming to the rescue. I'm not a huge fan of how JT played that, because he did walk on out and he had the right angle to two players pushing up from ramp. But I assumed he'd have a teammate boosted up on the boxes to try and hold the angle from where Lato peeked him from, right? So maybe a little bit of miscomms, but nonetheless, it was, after all, the saved scouts and the Deagles they had to work with. They dealt quite a bit of damage. They're going to be kind of happy with that, but the buy is going to be coming in nonetheless for both the sides. And OC with the AWP. This time around, very early in the half. CD side, and it's going to be trying to poke and prod towards mid. It's got Marky right next to him, in case he needs to bail out of there. And GODSENT are going to be slowly creeping up towards the B stairs. They have a player towards mid, just lurking around. That is, of course, going to be Dumao, who's going to be deploying a flashbang to enable his teammate to charge in towards B. So B site with the T's for the time being. But OC and Marky are just mopping them up. But a quick reply coming in from Lato, Phelps, and Dumao. OC will fall as well. And now the 2 versus 2. Phelps is going to get the bomb down. But the question is, can the lurk be caught out by Dumao?
Oh man, these rounds have been so chaotic, just back and forth. The seesaw, as the equilibrium starts to come into play. Fang takes down the frag onto Phelps. Game sense on point. Understands that Dumao could be down the bottom side of these stairs, but Dumao comes up. Frag has connected. JT doesn't have a kit, so he has to come off the site. Molly's lined up. This could be the nuts play. Does the Molly connect? Is it going to extend? It's not. Oh, that's so unlucky. And it's going to have enough time for the defuse. Are you serious?
Oh, you can see JT just smiling as well. He's like, oh, it's not gonna spread. Oh, Lord. Dumao played that so well, Vince. It was so good from both Dumao and Fang. Fang knew exactly what Dumao was. He lines up the Molotov. The nade finds him. But look at the flames. It's licking him on his toes, and yet somehow he survives. It cannot get any closer, Vince. However, 4 players do get taken down for Extra Assault. Now, they have managed to at least retrieve the AWP for OC, but now they have the couple of FAMAS's, comparatively limited utility, and just the 1 kit in the hands of Sonic, and GODSENT are going to be very well aware of it. What's interesting, though, is that they've opted to go for an op of their own on the T side, and it's going to be Lato, who seems to be the designated Vertigo opper, Vince. They seem to have a different opper for every single map.
Yeah, it kind of funnels back in, doesn't it, with the whole conversation we had about not having maybe an OC level primary AWPer. But Lato is on 20 frags. I mean, you can't really argue with how he's been playing. Sure, a lot of those have been off rifles. But if he feels confident with the weapon, put it in his hands and see what happens here. Both teams' economy, though, in no great shape. We are certainly at a fulcrum point in this game. Not just this game, but the entire best of 5 grand finals. And as OC tries to re-engage and try and peek down towards the short side here, if the timing favors him, this could be a huge moment in the round, and it does. And he has a buddy system. OC doesn't need any backup, though. He's a one-man army, and JT from above will spill the bomb down. It's looking grim again for GODSENT with 20 seconds. Barton is going to get overwhelmed, outmaneuvered, and we're all tied up at 10 apiece.
What a game. What a game of Counter-Strike we have in our hands. A second shot from OC, though. He was waiting for him. Lato was waiting for him, Vince. And yet he still gets that tiny little upward flick. So very quick. Such a treat to watch with the AWP. And OC... It's not just about the clutches. It's not just about his rifle work. I mean, imagine how clutch he is just with a rifle. And then you realize he's actually the primary operator of the team. That has to be terrifying if you're his opponent. GODSENT, though, since it is still a very close game, since it's still 10-10, and they know they still have a few more rounds before Extra Salt would feel comfortable, they are afforded the option of going for this force. They can somehow break the money. It could kind of throw this game into further chaos. But this angle from OC is very good. He's blinded, but great trigger discipline, but a whiffed shot. And now Maki is going to be pressured, Vince. He's getting surrounded from all sides, and he's going to find two. But finally, he will fall to Lato. And Dumao still lurking inside of the mid position. Are they aware of this? They saw multiple members just coming from mid. Will they be expecting a straggler behind? JT's going to be finding out, and he's going to get the kill.
Oh, that crouch peak is so huge. You can see how much it threw Dumao's aim off. Was not expecting that. And now it just cuts thin how many sets of eyeballs they can have looking in all these angles. It's dividing the two players. I think at some point they're going to have to take a risk. They know multiple players are over on the CT side. Uh-oh. I think we're lagged out again. You hate to see this.
The game's going on. It's just that...
I'm trying to read their reactions here, Blair. JT's smiling. I think they did it.
Yeah. OC? He's OC doesn't show emotion, so I don't know. I think they won it. Yeah, I'm not sure. They're so calm all the time. But if you saw the Brazilians, we would know if they won or lost a round for sure, though, because they're way more emotive. Like if they lose a round, they're like, "Oh, I can't believe we lost that." If they win it, everyone's cheering, high-fiving. Extra Salt's like, no emotions.
Yeah, they're kind of like cyborgs sent from the future to play Counter-Strike, especially OC. He is quite the Terminator on the server. I can only assume there's some tech issues, so we'll do our best to inform you and keep you notified. What we do know is that it was 10-10. It looked like Extra Salt won that, but don't quote me on saying that. We're going purely off body language and reactions and those kind of good things. I believe the game probably is being played in the background because this happened before, right? And we missed a round. So I think for the players, they're all good to go. They're all ready. They're probably playing right now. But we don't have any information to relay to you guys, so we can't fill you in.
We should, yeah, we should be going back in very quickly because, like you pointed out last time, it did happen. It was the game still continuing. It was just the observer lagging out, which is kind of unfortunate. But overall, whoever, doesn't matter who really won that round, and it's still a very close game, right? Like both these teams just battling it out, scrappy affair. And how close can it get? We saw that OC clutch coming in, and then that Molotov from was it from Dumao over there? Like, it's so heartbreaking, like how close it was. And from beyond the grave, he could have clutched it out for his team. That he didn't even have the kit, and just it's a matter of inches. That's how close this game is. And I have to say, like, obviously whoever wins this map is going to have the edge. You're going to be up 2-1, but I also feel like if you have a very close game and you come out on top, especially in the best of 5 series after 3 maps getting played, you might also have the mental edge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Momentum, the key aspect, especially in a long best of 5. But unfortunately, we need to cut to a technical break ourselves, guys. So please stay tuned, and fingers crossed we'll be ready to jump back into this fantastically entertaining game in just a few moments.
Chicken boom boom bang, but chicken go go, chicken do boom bang, but boom boom, we bang bang, we bang bang bang, go chicken bang bang bang, you boom bang bang, go go bang bang bang, bang bang bang, don't bang, chicken do boom bang, bang bang bang, day bang day bang bang, dem chicken day bang bang bang. Ba ba ba
Yeah, so clean, fresh off the jet. Hit the crew like where y'all at? Whole team making big moves. Yeah, we do it so cool. This that dedication for your consideration. Gotta live it up when you work so hard. Yeah, we do it up like oh my God. So show up, team, but you keep on rising, baby, go up. And I'm giving you what you like, now baby, let's go. Baby, please don't tease, 'cause now you're here with me. Tonight we gonna see, hey, shine, shine, shine. Show it up to the world. Shine, shine, shine. Show it up to the world. Everybody just shine. Everybody just shine. Cool up too high. Too hot, too high. Too hot, too high. Everybody just shine. Everybody just shine. Cool up too high. Too hot, too high. Too hot, too high. Goddamn girl, you doing that like a gun bang killer now. Hold up, you a vibe, you a vibe. Make a man spend it all in the night. So dangerous on the gram, body crazy, getting famous. And guess what? Yeah, she know she bad. Best thing that they wish they had. So show up, team, but you keep on rising, baby, go up. And I'm giving you what you like, now baby, let's go. Baby, please don't tease, 'cause now you're here with me. Tonight we gonna see, hey, shine, shine, shine. Show it up to the world. Shine, shine, shine. Show it up to the world. Everybody just shine. Everybody just shine. Cool up too high. Too hot, too high. Too hot, too high. Everybody just shine. Everybody just shine. Cool up too high. Too hot, too high. Too hot, too high. Since that one night I seen that smile upon your face. No words to say, yeah. It's me and you forever together, and I know it's true. We gon' shine. Hey, shine, 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 shine. Show it up to the world. Shine, 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 shine. Show it up to the world. Everybody just shine. Everybody just shine. Cool up too high. Too hot, too high. Too hot, too high.
revolution is on the way. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you get. They tried before, we made them pay.
Resolved, and we can finish off this game as it definitely deserves to. We did miss a round. Extra Salt currently lead 12-10, as you can see at the top of your screen. And judging by GODSENT's economy, they're okay to force out another buy, looking to try and bounce right back in. If you did just join us, both first maps were pretty one-sided. The teams actually traded their choices. This has been by far and away the closest game that we've seen.
Absolutely. I'm trying to do a very quick little bit of a deduction here to figure out how the previous round went. And looking at the money for Extra Salt, it looks like they did win the previous round in a very convincing fashion. And OC already opening things up. He did get chunked down to 47 HP with an early nade. He's going to stick around here, but the nice flashbang to fall back. And while Taco was concentrated on OC's position, Sonic will find his head. But Demao, amongst all the commotion, able to wrest control at its B bomb site, and a bomb is going to be planted. However, Phelps is a walking wounded. It's a 4v3 man advantage for the side of Extra Salt.
A 4v3, but as you say, multiple players on GODSENT are feeling the effect of the previous warfare as they try and position accordingly. It's where you have to take a couple of risks. You know that utility can really destroy you, as Lato's finding out firsthand, flashes himself into safety. But with each Molotov spread, it affords the CTs to close the gap. They've got to get a move on, though. Time is starting to dwindle away. And Lato, who is just so good so far in Vertigo, showing again just why. Demao closes it down by Phelps, but those two frags that Lato picked up were everything for GODSENT.
Absolutely. Humongous round for them to win, considering they lost two heavy hitters early on that A side. But it was all a ruse. And once they got control of the B bomb side, just great crossfires, delaying that retake. And Extra Salt maybe got in their heads a little bit there. It took very, very long, and eventually they had to kind of be a little bit. They kind of, I wouldn't say panicked, but they had to make a little bit of haste to get the defuse in. This time was definitely not their ally. Getting punished for it, but they did have a bit of money to work with. Hence, weaponry. JT tucked into the corner, doing his best ostrich impression, and he will escape. But Barton and Phelps have taken so much of damage, while Sonic is pushing pretty deep towards B stairs. This is an interesting hold from Extra Salt. Pretty aggressive posturing. And JT continuing to deal out more damage on towards GODSENT. The fact that they're having so much map control in the extremities of the map is massive for the side of Extra Salt. But if they do keep lingering around Vince, that's when they start to worry for them. Once the smokes start to dissipate is when these the player who's playing all the way to the bottom of the stairs, that is Sonic, if he gets spotted out, I don't think he will be tradable. I say that. There's a player above, but Taco finds him. Are they expecting a second? They're not, but doesn't matter, because Demao is going to find Sonic, and this B bomb site ready for business.
Man, that first entry must have been absolutely outrageous. I think it was Taco He just straight up dry peeked, fragged out the player on top of him. And all of that was a bait and switch where they were hoping to trade a minimum of 1-for-1 twice and then maybe weaken down another couple players. That is an unbelievable passage of play. And Extra Salt, who do not have the finances to try and run in here and clutch this one out, I think are already resigned to their fate of saving. So GODSENT, after going 12-10 behind, their economy being on the rocks, have bounced back with authority and are now really pressuring Extra Salt.
This map, man, it's like a... It's just like a street fight. They're just like, you know, two dudes, they've been battering it out, they're exhausted, they're tired. It's kind of like the ending of Rocky, where it's Apollo Creed and Rocky, and they're just like standing, just delivering blows. They're not even bothering to protect their faces, right? Just exchanging blows. And that's what's happening in this map. You have huge rounds coming out from both the sides, hero moments, some cool executes as well. And look at this Entrum tackle. That is just so unreasonable. And then Jumao with an instant spin around, finding Sonic as well. This is definitely starting to get a little nervous for both sides. You can see the attack time getting called by Extra Salt. Wondering what they do with the weapons they have. In 4, no. God damn it, Elliot. OC picked up his 4th 1 versus 4, but the other 3 were all on Inferno. There we go. 1v4s are exceedingly rare, Vince. It is super rare. And in that round, and usually it's because your opponents make a massive mistake. That round, though, the way OC played it, I'm not saying GODSENT played it flawlessly. I mean, they did make a couple of small mistakes, but they weren't throwing the round away. OC made it happen. He was isolating this fight so very well. Great intuition. The guy is magnificent. And right now, he needs to go even more above and beyond, because they've opted to go for the force buy around the 2. The 3 saved rifles. He's on 27 kills and 13 deaths, and he still has an AWP to wield. And looking at where GODSENT are heading towards, it looks like he's going to have to stand up and deliver once more.
He's being counteracted by Lato for the most part, but the problem here is that Extra Salt, if OC dies early in a round, it feels like they're lacking a little bit of firepower behind him. So they need somebody else to step up, but we are in such an important moment in this game. GODSENT, if they lose this, it's not the end of the world. They still got plenty of money, but you could not say the same for Extra Salt. They tried to save that last round because they knew just how dire their circumstances were. And now Phelps and the rest of GODSENT taking this early ramp control. The difference in how they're setting up is very noticeable too. Extra Salt are consistently playing more passive for this retake. GODSENT were always trying to fight the ramp, but it's Sonic with the MP9, one of the weakest weapons on the server, that has made his presence known and given his team the advantage.
The good thing is, the huge thing is, he gets a kill on the B side. That means everyone's going to be funneling towards A. 46 seconds on the clock. They still haven't made their play yet. They're out of utility, Vince. 1 flashbang remains, but the bomb will be planted. OC, that incendiary might be a little too late to really deal much damage, but look at how aggressive Fang is. He's going to come pushing on ahead. He spotted a second player as well, and it's going to be an instant kill onto Dumao. They're looking for more. 5 versus 3 right now. Bear in mind, Phelps is on 12 HP. A stray bullet in any part of his body is going to take him down. Lato, once again, will have to go big. He manages to sneak his way towards the sandbags, Vince, and I don't think he's been spotted out. They're going to deploy the smoke, and they're going to battle it out, but Lato, he finds Fang. Sonic's able to find Phelps, though, now with 2v4, but they are running out of time, and Lato would get another kill. He's doing it all by his lonesome. Do they have the time? They don't have a kit. They have to run away, and Lato has done it again for his team. Another round for GODSENT, and it was the hero that has been Lato all these rounds, Vince. What a play.
What is so sick about that is he actually smoked and then crept his way to sandbags that they'd already cleared out beforehand. And the angle he had was so filthy with the smoke that he tossed down. It forced them into this killing field. And he just reaped the harvest. So well played by Lato. And just when we were talking about big players having big moments, it's the 2. It's OC and Lato that are leading the charge. GODSENT with the advantage, but Extra Salt, because they didn't all die, because they're able to scurry away, they go again. They're back into full buying.
They might have an OC, but these guys have a Lato, Vince. And I mean, where does this even come from, right? You're looking at Phelps, you're looking at Barton and Dumao, the heroes of this side, and you're more like, yeah, Lato just does his job, doesn't have to do anything too spectacular, but he has just come alive in the last few rounds. And they have the lead here, despite OC being 2 kills away from dropping a 30 bomb in regulation. Everyone is negative for the side of GODSENT apart from Lato. And yet they have the lead. That's how impactful this guy has been. Well, Taco now trying his best to sell something all the way towards B. OC with the AWP once more, having to answer the call of duty. Is he gonna aggress? That's the question. If he does, there's no one nearby to help him out, to bail him out of a rough situation, but he doesn't need anyone, Vince. He's gonna find Barton, but not before GT falls. And look at the way GODSENT is creeping on through, using the smoke to obscure the vision of the CTs and creeping on past Phelps, though. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna try and push his way through the smoke? No, he's not. Smoke's still in play. Out in the open, the moment it dissipates, there are gonna be 3 CTs looking his direction, though. But for the time being, 20 seconds, they're peeling away.
They're rotating.
That's
They're
the right
rotating.
call, though.
It's the right call, but the CTs have already moved back. There's 10 seconds. If this bomb gets spilled down, it's over. GODSENT may have overthought this completely. They need to rush into the site and get this planted, and they get denied.
It's over. Oh, oh no. Did he die after the time? Did Jamal die after the time? Yeah, I don't think so. But still, the money's gone. The money's gone for GODSENT.
Oh my.
Oh my god. What a read. I'm not sure if they... I'm assuming they heard them rotate. I'm guessing that's why they just fully committed to the full B rotation. But with 20 seconds remaining on the clock, I'm not sure about that from GODSENT. I've praised Taco's calls, but that was not it, Vince. And look at this. 13-13, forced by. Oh, this is butt clench.
Maybe a fist clench as well from GODSENT, thinking like, what could it been? Phelps, their only AK player, already eviscerated down to 34 HP. He may feel like he needs to trade that across to one of his teammates right now, because one bullet, he's going to die. The AK gets dropped out, potentially in an awkward position, and that's the main source of their firepower. Now, they're going to still be opting for this A-sided hit. The flashes are good, but they get repelled. Marky also chips in for good measure, and it's a bloodbath. It's painted with the blood of GODSENT on the approach to A. An extra salt fend off the force buy, and that puts GODSENT into such a bad place going through into potentially the last couple of rounds of this map.
I don't know if that was a right call, Vince. You know, obviously we have the gift of hindsight, but this is Extra Salt getting a map point. And GODSENT having no answer to that. It's just blocks, a nade, and 2 flashbangs. That is all they have to work with. If they get the bomb down, it's going to be a miracle. OC already crossing the 30 kill barrier, where he's reached it at the very least. Sonic there, a little lucky not to take any damage because just the blocks. That range is going to be problematic. He's still going to be forced back, but now he's got a more better position to hold the angle from. Can they get the bomb down? That'd be big if they can, but no, OC will say no, and it is going to be round number 15 for Extra Salt. No bomb planted, and even with this save, Vince, they will get $2,400 in the next round. Jamal able to at least get 1 constellation kill. So yes, they will have the AK-47s, they will have the armor, and they'll have decent utility as well, at least on a couple of these players. But what do they do? Like, where do they go? Because that A side, suddenly it's looking like a complete lockdown. Even the B side as well. And so far, one thing we haven't seen from GODSENT yet is like a lot of mid takes. Like, they really haven't had too much of mid presence. Maybe a couple of times they've sent a couple of maybe 1 or 2 players just lurking on around. But usually they've just been concentrating on taking the extremities of the map. And while they have found some success earlier on, the past few rounds have been just Extra Salt completely shutting it down.
That's definitely a fair point. You haven't seen much mid control. I think some of that's down to Extra Salt's management of that position, but through the smoke, a lot of damage being inflicted. JT gets caught with a magazine in his hand, and that will yield 2 kills.
Okay.
Grab control taken. Maybe they don't need mid control afterwards, but they cannot cross off this round yet because this man, OC, is still alive, but not for much longer. The Ferrari peak, Barton takes his head and claims it for himself. Nice effort from Marky. 2 frags down, keeping the economy of GODSENT 100% honest, but he's running into the embracing arms of Taco, who's given his position away. Hold the phone a second. Marky is actually making a round out of this. GODSENT, surely you don't lose this.
1 versus 5 to a 1 versus 2, and he's just running them down, taking fights as well, but he knows where one of them is with the bomb just getting planted, but does he know where Lato is? He doesn't. Dumao instead is going to get the kill, Vince. And I was saying that we're not finding any success, and they just crack open the defense on both the A and the B bomb side, and now the money is not that great for the side of Extra Sol. What a kill from Bottom onto OC. This is perfect pre-fire, knew exactly where his head was. Now you look at the money here. 3 of them got cash. OC and Fang, however, are in a bit of a pickle money-wise. Now, I'm expecting the AWP to be dropped to OC. Like, give that man the AWP. But at least 2 of them will have to work with just pistols or maybe a FAMAS or an SMG here, as Phelps is so bloody good because he has averaged 97 ADR at the event. What?
Nearly 10 more than second place. That is unreal.
Jesus.
Yeah, the levels of consistency to post up just shy of 100 ADR on a regular basis, going through into the finals. We're not talking about after day 1. He's kept up that pace throughout. That is incredible.
Oh, absolutely. And Vince, I said it was going to be a close game, but I didn't expect this. Potential OT, maybe 16-14. We're going to be finding out. OC with the AWP and JT, the captain, he takes 1 for the team. He's just going to have the deagle, and it's going to take quite a bit of damage as well, down to 45 HP from the utility usage of GODSENT. And GODSENT, they know that it has been back and forth. They've had to claw their way back, but this is the golden opportunity for them to take us to OT. But Sonic's going to strike, but Lato with a quick trade.
Quick trade, and because of JT's damage that he was inflicted on early, he's not long for this world if he gets out into the open. Marky, though, playing around the generators, very well placed flashbang. Keeps him at bay. He also gave his position away, so they know minimum of 1 player's on the generators. I believe that Molly got extinguished from the smoke. So that's not going to bother the T's too much, but in comes the cavalry. Marky, big headshot onto Lacko. One of the players stuck behind the site still, but Phelps, who else? The man we were just touching on comes through with 2 huge entry frags towards the CT side. And with him in the close position, this may be a foregone conclusion, or perhaps not. OC posts up his 33rd frag of the map, and he is hungry for more. He's not been satiated. Add 34 into the mix. Is he going to clutch this out and take it for his team? Missing out on the shot. Does connect onto Dumao, but it's not the outright frag. And time itself is going to be the ultimate adversary. This map's going to OT.
OC gets everyone, Vince, but it's still not enough. Dumao just playing the dodge game, and we're going to be finding out who's going to be taking this after a very, very quick break.
There's butterflies around me. Take me away. Oh, take me away. Take my hand and turn around. Just live this moment. Start a brand new day. Brand new
After two very one-sided maps, we have been really trekked to a phenomenal map of Counter-Strike. Maybe not strategically the best you'll see, but so many entertaining moments. And OC in some absolutely outrageous form. 35 frags in regulation. And he's not done just yet, because we have more rounds to go.
Jesus, 35. How much can one man do, Vince? I did say that he is a force to be reckoned with, but I wasn't expecting this. This is ridiculous from OC, and still it's not quite done yet, Vince. Taken easily across that 40 frag barrier. Marky get a nice attempt early in the 1v5 as OC is going to get the first kill. Jamal with a quick trade, and Marky with a nice double kill on the Jamal and Barton, helped out by JT, who despite dying does get that assist, and that's going to force Lato and Taco to immediately pivot straight towards the A bomb site. But guess who's waiting for them? It is of course going to be OC. All the way in the sandbags, trying to use that op as a combat AWP. It's all about timing, Vince. If he peeks out, and Lato's not looking at him, but Lato's waiting, and Lato denies OC a 2v4 to a 1v2, and Lato's doing it everything by his lonesome again, and it's down to Sonic to somehow turn this around, because it's gone wrong so disastrously for the side of Extra Salt.
That's a touchdown grenade. $300 to try and get him back into this round. Taco sticking on the site. Lato removes the head again. The Kingslayer. This guy is unbelievable. For as much as we've been talking about OC, Lato has just been chugging along, claiming frags. He's just landed 30 of his own.
4 headshots. Every one of those kills were, every single one of those kills were headshots. And look at how clean, how easy he makes it look. OC was trying to be a little sneaky little bastard there, but he knew exactly where he was. Plucks his head off, and yes, I have to agree with you. Whatever OC does, it's like Lato is able to replicate it. And I have to say, pure impact-wise, sure, OC had that 1 versus 4, but look at the number of multi-kill rounds that Lato's been able to get and seal the deal, seal the win for his team when the going looked almost impossible. He's just been fantastic, especially when he has the likes of Dumao and Barton having comparatively a quieter game. OC though sees a bag and immediately finds Barton. Is he going to stick around though?
No, they decide we've got the advantage. We're completely fine to go for retakes if needs be. Let's not overextend and get caught by a flash. Great shot from Marky. He's so solid in this position around middle. A spray on point from Sonic. Everywhere you look on the map, Extra Salt getting success. And making sure they do not allow another clutch to take shape. Lato, the danger man, the talisman over on GODSENT, still stands tall on full hit points. And he's joined by Phelps. So we have two very talented, capable players for GODSENT. But with 40 seconds to go, there's not too many things you can say going in their favor. And to make matters worse for Lato, he will have to do it all alone if he's going to clutch this. This would be the play of the tournament, one of the plays of the year, if we're being completely honest. And he has neutralized OC at the cost of 80 hit points. And he's got players coming round the back. Any moment, they're going to look to pivot in and strike. Time itself working against him. The entire world against Lato. And Marky will put him down. We stay all even at 16 apiece.
Back and forth we go, Vince. Back and forth we go. GODSENT 2v4, able to convert it earlier thanks to Lato's heroics. This time around, it was not to be. Extra Assault, they shut it down. We enter the final round of the first half of OT number 1. Obviously, both these teams want the lead. We'll see. Trying to take a blind shot through the smoke, lining it up, but not quite able to connect on any of the players down at the bottom of ramp. GODSENT's taking a slow approach as well this time around. No early aggression. Taco, however, making his presence felt, and looks like they are just going to be running straight into B here. Sonic needs to be careful. Doesn't want to be caught with a nade in his hand, and he's going to have to try and duke it out with Barton, but Barton will tap his head clean off his shoulders.
Oh, Marky's in a really tight situation here. He's got a Molotov down to his right, so he can't reposition. He knows that he's getting peeked from middle, and Dumao takes out OC, bodyguarding for his teammate. But let's be honest, he should be the one that's defended at all costs on this team. Fang, big frags. Can he rinse and repeat and start to connect the dots? They're getting flanked in the meanwhile, and although Fang puts a valiant last stand, it's a bridge too far, and GODSENT will lead going through into the second half of our first OT.
That was a crazy pivot back towards the B side. Like, I thought they'd be taking a little bit slow, and it's not like Extra Assault like did anything crazy there towards A. You know, we saw OC take a shot towards the smoke, didn't find anyone, and GODSENT just very ballsy call from Taco. It's like, all right, there's no one up close towards the B stairs. Let's just go for the full commit. They execute in, and then, yeah, just great shots being found. And at mid as well, Dumao catching OC, the Danger Man getting taken out early on. Did Taco just get tagged on to 11 HP?
Yep.
Wait, what? Was that a TK? Dink, maybe? Because it was very early in the round.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch that. Curious to see if
I don't
get
know.
a replay maybe? I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, one would assume there was OC getting the tag onto him, but it felt like it happened before he even made his way down ramp, so it is a bit confusing. Anyway, we'll get back to that later on. Right now it's going to be Phelps and Lato. 2 turrets, 2 defenders of this A ramp area. They're not going to be allowing Extra Assault to make their way up before they deal a bit of damage. OC trying to be cheeky, trying to potentially use its smoke as a one-way and maybe get a kill. Oh, JD's in a bit of a pickle. Oh, JD's in a bit of a pickle, and he's going to be done for. Phelps gets a nice kill, and is still going to be sticking around. This is very ballsy, and because of that, OC will get the trade.
Puts them back on the map. Taco low, as we touched on before, right from the beginning of the round. And Phelps was really the main tag team partner of Lato, so they have to do some heavy lifting. You need a chiropractor behind him to give him a little bit of a go over here if he's going to try and dig GODSENT out of this round and maybe even take us to the 4th map, which would be Inferno. Flashes now finding their way on towards the site. Mollies. Everything being tossed in. Barton has the element of surprise. Flashbang alongside it. 8 seconds to go. And he's starting to cartwheel the tease out of this. OC still alive, providing Overwatch for his teammate. And with 2 seconds, the bomb will successfully get planted. They're still in with a chance. OC still alive and healthy. Has the molly, has the smoke. There are kits in both of GODSENT's hands, and with the smoke being put up now, it puts OC in a horrible spot. They're going for the full defuse, right idea, but slightly off, and they will stick the defuse. OC continues to put out the kills and churn them out, but GODSENT are claiming these rounds and making them their own, and that gives them 2 map points.
41 killed, and they might lose the map in the next round. That's just unreal, Vince. How much more can he do? Like, literally, how much more can this one man do? He's hitting some nutty shots. And unfortunately for him, Vince, he only had the AWP. If he had an AK-47 or maybe an M4, or any rifle for that matter, he could potentially try spraying through the smoke. But he had that one shot that he could take through the smoke. He fires it off, and it misses the mark by about an inch. And he doesn't get a second chance. And you gotta appreciate the second player for the side of GODSENT just wide swinging, ensuring he doesn't get a diffuser, as it's a mad battle towards mid. Dumao and Barton able to find a couple, but a quick reply coming in the form of OC. and Marky getting a couple of kills. Now, Taco is in a bit of a rough spot, Vince. He's got no backup, and he's got to land his shots. He's got an AWP, not really his weapon of choice, especially on this map, but he's doing a good job delaying them because backup has arrived, and it is Lato who's going to answer the call, but he gets taken down. Taco burning alive, but helped out by his teammate. The smoke will extinguish the flames, and now, 2v2. Make that a 1 versus 2 on for Phelps.
Oh, spray was just off. Fang made sure he put down Phelps before he could really get started. And we go the distance once again. Another map point for GODSENT. OC is trying his absolute best to get them into this second OT. He has played phenomenal Counter-Strike. We are starting to see, though, that Sonic, just what he's capable of doing. It's a star-studded team. I think Box was talking about this on the desk just before, that conceivably any of these 5 players on their day can carry. But right now, we're only seeing one component of that. An Extra Salt decide to mix up the pace. They're going to try and push through the ramp side, but Phelps pushes down and meets them and fends them away, trading up to the AK, and Marky's been splattered down to 4. Could this be it for Vertigo?
The player with the highest ADR in the tournament. And I just feel like he's increased it even further. What a shutdown from Phelps. He's been a bit hit or miss in his ramps position, but that could be it. That could be all he needs to do. And he barely takes any damage, Vince. He just barely gets scratched down at 73 points of health. And OC again, 42 kills, 19 deaths. Once more having to pretty much do everything by his lonesome. He does have Sonic next, close to him, so he'll probably try and do something by his lonesome. But Marky, 4 HP, barely alive, barely a pulse. And they need to take this round to take us to OT number 2, or else, as you pointed out, Vince, this is going to be map number 2 going the way of GODSENT, and they're going to be taking the lead in this 1 versus 5 series. And OC, though, how does he even spot Demao?
Cat-like reactions. Smacks him down. 30 seconds. Get the defib out for Marky. Get that adrenaline shot in. He does tank some bullets, allows safe passage now for Sonic. Molly to the back boxes, forces them out. Oh, the audacity for Lato to go back up on the boxes again. And OC is trying his absolute best. He's still in the fight, still trying desperately to salvage this, but he's getting flanked, and Taco puts the final nail in the coffin. An unbelievable performance from OC.